It is our home. It's a great planet, but we're quickly running out of resources. Studies show that in the next 100 years, we're actually going to completely deplete our planet of coal and oil reserves, and that's going to start affecting us with prices and obviously the availability of these resources. All right, so for this reason, scientists are actually looking to colonize Mars to see if we can escape resource depletion on Earth before it's too late. So you guys might have a few questions. Why Mars of all the planets? Is it even possible to colonize another planet? Can we even get to other planets? And is anything being done right now to get us to these planets? So I really like space stuff, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. So yeah, I'm going to inform you guys about colonizing Mars. So first of all, why Mars? Mostly because it's the closest planet to us, tied with Venus, roughly 250 million miles away. But then the most important reason is that Mars and Earth are both very similar planets. An article from SolarViews.com actually lists a lot of these similarities between Mars and Earth. And it shows that Mars is 70% the size of Earth, so it's really close. The days on Mars are actually 24.6 hours. And like Earth, Mars also has ice caps on the North and South Pole. It has a thick atmosphere, and it's also in the habitable zone, which is a region that scientists have claimed is like a radius around the sun that life can actually inhabit in. So, okay. Are these similarities enough though? Not quite on their own. So, Mars is just as different as it is similar. It has low gravity, it has 38% of Earth's gravity, which could lead to some unknown health risks. Scientists haven't really looked into it very much, so that could pose a potential threat to us. It has a really low temperature. It's negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is obviously not inhabitable for humans. It has no oxygen in the atmosphere. It has no ocean, and it has no ozone layer to protect us from harmful sun rays. Despite all this, though, the soil is really nutrient-rich, so scientists are actually considering terraforming Mars. Now, for those of you that don't know what terraforming is, it is changing the climate in a certain region to make it more habitable for certain species. James Graham, an astrophysicist, has proposed introducing microorganisms to the surface of the surface of Mars that would actually increase the oxygen levels in the atmosphere. And on top of that, he also proposes adding algae and moss alongside these microorganisms that would help decrease the CO2 in the atmosphere and further make it habitable for humans. Chris McKay, a NASA scientist, has proposed using giant mirrors in orbit around Mars, which is a pretty crazy idea, but what it would do is reflect sunlight onto the ice caps, which would actually melt them, increasing the greenhouse gas content of Mars, which would increase the temperature. It would also melt the ice caps, obviously, giving Mars an ocean 100 meters deep, and it would also increase the ozone layer by increasing like O3 in the atmosphere, which would help prevent against the UV rays. So it's entirely possible for Mars to become habitable, given the right funds, the right time, and the right motivation. But can we even get to Mars? The answer is yes. Robert Zubrin, an aerospace engineer that's been devoted to colonizing Mars and raising awareness for this since 1996, claims that the technology is there, and it would only take us 5 years to get there. A single trip there would cost $30 billion, which is relatively sizable, not relative to the total output of Earth's GDP, but still sizable nonetheless. And then every subsequent trip would only cost $3 billion once the supply line is established. And this is due to the wealth of resources on Mars. There's a huge fuel deposit there, along with a lot of metals, that would make return trips to Mars practically free for us. So, what's being done to go to Mars right now? Elon Musk, CEO of SpaceX, you guys might have heard of him, in a conference in September of last year, has outlined a plan for the Interplanetary Transport System, which is a reusable rocket ship that he would use to shuttle between different planets. He's already started testing this. He thinks he can get a working prototype by 2020, and then he thinks he can actually send people to Mars by 2025, which is incredibly promising. And then another project, Mars One, Dutch nonprofit organization that's aiming on sending people on a one-way trip to Mars to start a colony there. This is slightly less feasible. They're only going to send 24 people in 2022. And they do not have a lot of support and they don't have a lot of funds, so it's highly unlikely. So people are more reliant on Elon Musk. And these are really small steps, but they're steps nonetheless, and they'll likely get us to Mars within our lifetime, which is quite exciting. So in conclusion, Mars could possibly be one of the many answers to the growing resource depletion we have here on Earth. Not only is Mars possible to colonize, but it's likely, and it's probably going to happen in our lifetimes. And if we get there, hopefully we're able to ration the resources wisely so we don't end up in this situation again. Yeah, thank you.